Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and I am here with my husband, Noel. He's back there running our cameras and doing our graphics. Good morning, Southern Charm. Hello. Hello, Bama Thrifting Sisters, Daisy Lane, Grandma Cord Galore. I love that name. That just has such a cool ring to it. Hello, Amy. Wednesday morning, we are halfway through the week, and you know what today is? Today, CPAs and accountants across the country are celebrating the end of 100-hour work weeks. Today is April 15th. Hopefully all of you guys have filed your taxes. Just curious, if you have not, it's okay to file an extension. If you are still like, oh my God, throw something in the chat. Let me know if you are still trying to rush and get them out before midnight tonight. It is tax day, yes. Couple people are still like, oh man, I got to do my taxes still. All right, I don't have a lot to talk about. I actually wrote down a couple controversial things just to get it going this morning, just so we can start talking about something. Because I don't have a lot. It's been a busy week for me, but nothing, no big whatnot news this week. If you were hanging around last night, you might have saw the CEO Challenge Showcase. So that was really cool. They were working on their challenges, and we are already into week 3 of our CEO Challenge Showcase. It is a 4-week challenge. And this week, so I'm not going to go into super details because I haven't had my meeting with the participants yet, but this week we're working on systems and structures. So identifying systems and structures and a strong opening. Thank you so much, Daisy Lane. Those participants are amazing. We're working on having strong openings in our show. Who here, if you're a seller, put something in the chat if you feel that you have a strong opening. You know what you say it every time when you start your show. No one feels like you have a strong opening? Bama Thrifting Sisters, awesome. Yes, we have one. Southern Charm's like, nope, not me, not today. They are so important, you guys. A strong opening. I guess I will talk a little bit about it, only if it's a raid train. That's interesting because we probably have different things we say for our regular shows versus our raid trains, right? Because raid trains are, to me, are a little bit easier because it's, hey, thank you, Sally, for bringing everybody over. Welcome to the blah, 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 blah raid train, whatever it is. So it's a little bit easier when we're introducing something for somebody else. But what about introducing ourselves and introducing our show? I think, thank you. You like my shirt? Check that out. This is actually my husband's. He ordered it and it came in and I'm like, thank you very much. I will keep that. So now he has to go buy another one. So when we're looking at our own introductions, it's really hard to have one if you don't know what not if you don't know what your show is, but if you don't have some type of structure to your show and have a really good idea going in. It's kind of like having that show flow, knowing what you're about to do in your show. If you can't quite visualize that, then creating an opening can be extremely difficult. But let's face it, an opening has to have a few things, right? Who you are, but like your company name and your name, you should give some personability to it, right? So, hey, I'm Zoe, my name's Tracy, this is Zoe's Treasures type thing. What you're selling, or what you're doing. What are we doing today? Why are we all here, right? What your pricing structure is and what your shipping structure is. To me, those are the most important things. And then if there's anything else vital in there, good morning, Tober. If there's anything else you want them to do, like check the show notes, or if you have a coupon or, something special that you want them to know about your show that day, that should be in there too. What does that do for your buyers? And we're really going to dive into this on Friday. It's I love it when all of my ideas all kind of come together in the same week. So this is part of our CEO challenge this week, is a strong opening. And then it's just what we're talking about here. And then it's going to be part of Friday's show. We are talking about creating shows with signature shows with momentum. And a strong opening is one of those things. We want to make our buyers comfortable. Think about this. And I'm going to talk about this more in a lot more depth on Friday. But think about when you go to a shopping mall. I know they're becoming almost non-existent anymore. Well, good morning, good stuff. Let me get a giveaway going really quick and get all those words off the screen, and then I'll tell you about my analogy here. All right, giveaway is CEO affirmation card. Okay, so think about this. When you go to a shopping mall as a buyer, and you're just walking around, good morning, mamas. You're walking around, kind of doing some window shopping, but maybe you need a few things. Maybe you got some money in your pocket and you're willing to spend if you see something you want. Maybe not consciously, maybe you're not speaking it out loud, but subconsciously you're asking yourself different questions as you walk by various stores. Some stores you wouldn't even give a second look to. They're not your vibe, they're not your style. Okay. Other stores though, you may wander in and you're asking yourself, is anything on sale? How expensive is this store? Do they carry what I want? Maybe I'm looking for a new pair of jeans. I don't know exactly what I want, but I can use a new pair of jeans. Do they have them in my size? So you're starting to ask yourself, do they even have jeans today? Is it, making sure that you're going into a clothing store. So in your head, you're asking yourself these type of questions. Is the line really long? How is it going to be on checkout? How is the dressing room? I don't want to wait for an hour to try something on, right? So you're asking yourself all this stuff. Good morning, Rossin. When somebody comes into your room on Whatnot, they have the same type of questions. Maybe they're not thinking about the dressing room because obviously we're virtual, but they have the same type of questions. Buyers coming into your show are thinking, what is their pricing like? Is this a really high price show? Can I afford the stuff in here? How is their shipping? Are they doing 921? Is it custom profiles? Is it max shipping? Is it reduced, free? What are they doing for shipping? Do they ship on time? How are they running their auctions? Can I promote? Can I not promote? Do they allow, banter in the chat? Is it the kind that we can joke, or is it a very serious show? So your buyers are asking all of these questions. The more questions that we can answer before they have to try to figure it out for themselves, the more at ease your buyer becomes. When they're more at ease, what do they do? What do buyers do when they're more at ease? Spend money, which is hopefully as a seller what you want for buyers in your room. So your strong opening leads into all of that. That's like the first, if people are there when your show starts, that's kind of like that first experience. So stating who you are, what you're selling, what your shipping structure is, what your pricing structure is, immediately removes, a good amount of questions from somebody's head. So how many of you have got into a show and you were like, thinking maybe you saw a bunch of stuff in the back and they're doing random polls and you're like, oh, wow, there's some neat stuff back there. This looks kind of like my vibe. But then the very next question in your head is, I wonder how much they're charging today. Wonder what their opening bids are. Anybody ever think that? Yes, yeah. It goes through our heads, right? So if we could set the stage, and it's not just at your opening, it's every so often throughout the show. Set that stage, 30 minutes in, 20 minutes in, and you're seeing join, people are coming in. You're like, hey, I noticed a bunch of you coming in today. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Tracy, this is Always Treasures. We're doing dollar starts today, $4.50 shipping. It doesn't have to be a big old spiel. It could be a quick 10-second little blah, 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 and you're done, right? So that was just kind of my thing this morning. It's been on my mind because that's part of our challenge this week. And my husband's showing me, go ahead, honey, talk in the thing, because I do not know what you're trying to show me. He's writing notes to me, and I'm like, I have no clue what you're trying to tell me. Sometimes not even the whiteboard doesn't even work. He just wrote a big old paragraph on a whiteboard, and I'm like, it's too early. It's too early for all that. So he has thoughts, and I'm like, this is our show. And he has thoughts, and instead of just speaking, he's writing me notes. Talk to us. Here he goes.
Good morning, everybody.
That's it. I got a big paragraph on a whiteboard for him to say good morning. Yeah, a lot of people don't. This is one of the things, My Fair Closets, that I think about a lot. And I kind of mentioned this last night in the CEO Challenge, is we come on here, we come on Whatnot, and we think it's just about hitting go live and showing some stuff, showing our product, right? And then people will buy it, we make some money, we ship it, everybody's happy, right?
Fine, I'll share my thoughts. I was in a show and I asked about an item. The seller said, "Make me an offer I can't refuse." I immediately left.
Rookster, congratulations on that giveaway. So his thinking was, I guess he was in a show, make me an offer I can't refuse. Has anybody ever used that line? As a seller, have you said that? I used to turn on make me an offer, or like offers accepted in my bin listings. Probably not my favorite line to say, make me an offer, because to me, if I have to give you a price, I know from a selling perspective, I totally get it. From a business, like if I'm thinking through the psychology of buying type stuff, totally get it, because as a seller, me asking you, make me an offer, it lets me immediately know where your mindset is. Is either one, I'm going to make more money because you're first of all are going to be more tempted to go high as a buyer because you don't want to insult me. Just that's human behavior. So one, for a seller's point of view, it's going to hopefully raise the price. Or some buyers are just like ballsy. They'll just go for it and they'll be like $5, and they'll lowball you. That's when you can start to negotiate to bring the price up. I don't like it. Honestly, here's a take, and then we'll get back to the parts of the show. Here's a take for you. I went to, it's called Markets of Shrewsbury, like little vendor flea market thing that just opened up last Saturday. I was so looking forward to going to this. They only do it during the good weather here in Pennsylvania. Last Saturday was the first day. I was super excited about going. I'm like, I'm going to meet some vendors. I'm going to make some connections. I'm going to, see if I can buy out whole tables of stuff. Maybe not that day, but throughout the course of this, it lasts through October, every Saturday. I went, and these vendors' prices were so unbelievably high. It's a flea market. It is literally, you pay $20, first come, first serve. You roll up with your car, you take your tables out the back of your car, and you set up there on the grass, and it is a flea market. And they were charging eBay prices, if not higher. Milk glass, that's not even old milk glass, $15 a piece, and things like that. And I'm like, that's more than I even sell it for on Whatnot. Like, I look at some of this and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I am by York, PA, just north of the Maryland border. So I called my husband and I'm like, well, this was a bust. I'm like, these prices are too high. And he says, my husband goes, you're supposed to negotiate with them. Who here actually negotiates? Newville, okay, cool. Southern Charm will negotiate. Haggling, occasionally, depends.
That's what I keep telling her. And for the record, I'm not shy. She's the star of the show.
Sometimes, not all the time, Southern Charm. Okay, so just walk away. Okay, Thrift of Lisa B. And who else? Tober said you hate it. Oh, your husband is born and raised in New York? That's cool. You send your husband. Melinda, me too. I said my husband. Here's my view on it.
That's what she does, Melinda. She sends me.
I will not haggle. I refuse to haggle. I refuse to ask for discounts. I refuse to haggle. Now, people may say, oh, that's stupid. This is what it's meant to do. No, that's not the way I do business.
But ask her about her truck.
My truck? I have no idea what you're talking about. Tober, I like it. Tell me your best and I'll decide if I'll pay it or not. Exactly. Nobody has time for that. You remove the barriers to buying. You making me haggle over your price is a barrier I'm not going to cross. I will just keep on walking. If you put a price tag on it, you took enough time to go to Walmart and buy your little stickers and put your sticker on there and write a price. Make it a reasonable price. Yeah. I will walk up to a table and I will pay what the price is if I feel that price is reasonable.
But that's not the environment. This is the same thing if you go buy a car. If you go buy a car, you see the car, you see the sticker price. That's the sticker price that they have. And most times than not, you can negotiate that price.
I won't negotiate. And I could be the lone wolf out here all by myself and be completely 100% wrong. And I'm okay if I'm 100% wrong on the fact. I will not negotiate. I feel as a seller, it's my job to give you a fair price, and you're going to pay it or not. Don't ask me, like, unless I have, for whatnot, if I will take a lower price, I'll put on there accepts offers. Other than that, and I used to, when I was a newer seller, a lot of times I would say in my shows, make me an offer.
Exactly,
I don't
Jennifer.
do that anymore.
Exactly, Jennifer. That's the whole idea, and they know about that, and so the expectation is that you're gonna be making a purchase based on that sense of I'm gonna work with you in these numbers.
But it's a game that's not necessary to play. Rookster, I totally agree with you. And then they get offended if you lowball them, right? You tell them, so my husband's making the point of the vehicle. I think it's a little bit different.
Absolutely, Tober. That is completely true. That's also a cultural thing.
Greeks and Turks love to haggle in the markets and bazaars. I could say, look, I know people haggle. My husband's a haggler. I won't do it. I send him to do it in my place. I will just keep on walking. But think about that. How does that relate to whatnot?
I'm not a haggler. I just know the environment.
Think about how does this relate to whatnot? We have a huge divided audience here of people who are like, I'll haggle, and other ones who are like, make it fair or I'm just walking away. Our audiences are the same way on whatnot, right?
That's right, Jennifer. Absolutely.
Negotiator. Oh, price will a little, hold on, let's see. Between 4 to 10, well priced, little above at our flea market because people ask regardless. People are going to ask, I don't know, I can't do it. I can't make myself self-haggle. I was even looking at the milk glass piece. I was looking at this milk glass that some guy had on his table, and he's like, oh, are you interested? And I'm like, no, thank you, sorry. I won't even tell them I think their price is too high.
That's right, Chatty Wampus. That's right.
Yeah, maybe it comes down to what we're comfortable with. He was mentioning the truck thing. Now that he said it, I know what he was talking about. We both purchased new vehicles last July. Wow, it's been a long time, almost a year ago. Last July, and
it was in sometime in October.
Okay, so we went to get. There was a truck I wanted. I went to the Ford dealership. I knew specifically what I wanted. There was exact features. I was looking for a very specific truck. So specific features on a truck. I had a lot of stuff like color I wasn't too worried about. Different things was like, okay, it could be whatever. But there were certain things I absolutely had to have. So we go to a dealership and go into the Ford dealership. And I say, okay, here's the things I have to have. Do you have a truck like this, or do you have one in your system that you can find for me? No, we don't have anything here. And this is in like York, close to us. We don't have anything here. Oh, but there's one in Pittsburgh for $500. We could transfer it over here.
Good morning, the Thrifty Cottage.
Good morning. I'm like, let me think about it. I don't want to, commit right away. Let me think about it. And so then we leave, and we go to another dealership, a Ford dealership, about 15 miles away. And guess what? They had the truck right there. And then my husband negotiated, but I wouldn't, and he got the price down considerably for me.
I absolutely agree with you, Miss Kate. And also, you have to keep in mind that if you go there early in the morning, they just got there. And if you walk around, you see something you like, and the price is too high. My idea is if I come back around maybe 2 hours, 3 hours later, you're going to be tired of being there. And if you haven't sold anything, you're more willing to make a deal with me.
True. My thinking is it was the first day of the market. They were all a little over ambitious vendors. And by October, their prices are going to be way lower because they will realize their prices were too high. That's my thinking. So I'll just wait. I'm going to give it a month or two. Then I'll go back when they start realizing that their milk glass isn't selling for $15 a piece. So, because it wasn't $15 milk glass. It wasn't something extraordinary. It was a basic, I can go to Goodwill and find it for $2.99 milk glass. So, which is probably where they found it, and no fault on them because I find things there too. So, but we all play the same game. All right. I love how we're like, some people are like, go for it, haggle. Others like, oh, nope. All right, let's go on to another controversial. What's something else? How about this? Should sellers share their cost with you? So just do what I do. If they ask you what you paid, just say $5. No matter what it is. I'm just going to say $5. Okay. So should sellers, that's a tongue twister, share their cost with you? No. Oh, a lot of people are like, no. You haggled on Poshmark. Yep, big chunk. Why should they? Nope. I'm with y'all. So I think we're on the same page. I think a lot of us are on the same page here. And sellers should. I'm going to take it one step further. Then I tell them overhead. I think it's tacky. I actually think it's not etiquette. I just think it's tacky when a seller shares their price with people. Anybody agree with that? Rude. I do too. Yeah, I don't want to know. Here's the thing. If I'm buying something from you, I'm assuming you're making a profit. I assume that you have priced it fairly for both of us, so you get your share, I get a good deal, everybody's happy. However, if your profit is humongous, good for you as a seller. You did an amazing job.
Good morning, Aaron.
But does that leave a good feeling for me? If I know that you bought it for $1 and I just paid $40 for it, I don't need to know that. Because when you do a transaction, you want the last feeling somebody has to be a good feeling, right? That's why it's so important on what not to ship properly, not have broken things, because you want the very last thing something happens to be good. Same thing here, before they even get their product, you don't want to put a bad taste in their mouth. It takes the joy out of my buying. If I buy something for $40 and they're like, great, grab, I only paid 50 cents for this, or I only paid $1 for this. How does that make you feel? You don't believe them when they tell their cost. Yeah, maybe not. Just because they are probably hecklers, anyone knows their markups, yeah. See if I missed anything here. Good morning, Aaron. It's none of the business. Yes, it's nobody's business. I don't like it. You don't get milk glass at our Goodwill for $2.99. They have gotten ridiculous. $1 free stuff, and then they're throwing. Yeah, Deb's covered. Goodwill has raised their prices. They have. And I think some of their prices are like, oh my gosh, what were you smoking when you had that price cut in your hand? Sometimes. Sometimes they're overly ambitious. But for the most part, I've got to say, they're still lower than retail. So some girlfriends' best states hold on. We don't say, because some of the girlfriends' best sales were found on the curb. People don't need to know what you paid. Like when they sell from flea markets and the price increase. Exactly. This is my complaint. This is my thing with the live selling is have the negotiation with the flea market vendor or, whatever you're doing in private. It doesn't need to be publicized live on whatnot. Like you could pick stuff off a table or, if you're at an antique mall, wherever you're live selling from, unless you're doing pure straight up, hey, I'm at Goodwill and it's double the cost of everything I buy. Very, very transparent, very clear and easy way of pricing. But when there are some significant markups there, it doesn't leave me with a good feeling knowing that I'm paying so much more than you are. And I'm not saying the seller's wrong for charging what they're charging. What I'm saying is I just don't want to know.
Good morning, Ms. Jen.
Right? Good morning, Ms. Jenhen. When someone does say, I'm giving this below my cost, absolutely. When someone says, I'm giving this to you below my cost, or God forbid, I paid up for this item, so I'm going to have to charge more. Sorry, ma'am, you made a bad deal. You made a bad purchase. Not my fire to put out as your buyer. I love conversations. You can come see me. I'll be controversial. I'll ask all these controversial things because I'm totally cool with opposing views in the chat. Tell me that, I love to see that we're divided here, but we can all still be friends, right? We can have good conversation.
So the thought comes to mind, if you're on a flea market and you are reselling live and you are making your purchase from the vendor and the vendor listens to you, he tells you that's 50 cents. And he listens to you saying, well, I'm going to sell this for 20. What do you think he's going to feel?
I just don't see how you're not offending people all the way around in situations like that. You want your buyer to feel like they got a good deal. And if they know that they could have got that way cheaper, they don't feel like they had a good deal at the end of the day. But I don't want this not MSRP, so it doesn't matter now. Yeah, I'm not against a seller making a profit whatsoever. I just don't want it publicized, like not the profit part, but like the cost part. For me, it's very off-putting.
Melinda, I think that's probably one of the reasons too. You know, everything nowadays, you get the information very fast, and they're realizing how things are being resold, and they're trying to make more profit. I wouldn't doubt that.
Deb's Cupboard, I love that. The world is full of different personalities. We're a can of mixed nuts. Don't get offended, just move on. Yeah, exactly, just move on. And our market is $25 a day. It's still to have your booth. That's like the one close to me is $20 to first come, first serve, pull up, pay your $20, park your car, we're in the first spot, and pull out your tables and sell. I'm not selling, I'm going as a buyer. I've thought about selling. Honestly, I'm just too dang lazy to pack up all my breakables. That's a lot of risk on breaking stuff to put it in my truck to go and do it, and then to pack it back up and bring it home. That just sounds like a lot of work for me. And honestly, I don't know. It's not my. No, I don't want to sell there. It's too much work for me. You do both sides of it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have booths that do whatnot and have booths. And we had a new antique store open, and they had a very small booth. It was more like a shelf. It wasn't a full booth. It was more like a shelf. And I considered it. To the point where I called my husband. I'm like, they got a booth. It's pretty cheap. Not a booth, a shelf. Pretty cheap, like a bookcase, you know? And then I'm like, no, because I would have to maintain it. And I'm not sure I want to do that yet.
She doesn't have the time.
He keeps telling me I don't have the time. Which I kind of got to agree. I am pretty booked, morning to night. I know Southern Charm. Like, there's this part of me. Okay, anybody here who sells on whatnot, who does not have a booth, is there a little part of you that is kind of like,
Southern
I
Charm.
could put my big stuff in the booth?
So Southern Charm. So now is my job, huh? I got enough hats already, and then now I got another one. Seriously?
Painted tree. What's the painted tree, Aaron? You run a large booth, but would rather use that rent money for whatnot. There's an opposite view. So Southern Charm has a booth. Polish Picker's like, I have a booth. I'm ready to I would like to, instead of paying rent and commissions, do whatnot with it. Southern Charm has a booth. Y'all listen to this, okay? She is so humble and sweet here. She's talked about her booth. She's mentioned her booth a few times. And me and my small thinking, I'm like, a 10 by 10 booth. This is what I'm picturing in my head, right? Because she's just like, yeah, I got a booth. So I'm thinking a 10 by 10 booth. No, this girl comes on and does a video. She has half a barn. I'm like, that is not a booth. That is like a store. And it is amazing, freaking amazing.
Ronson, that was a joke when I was working in the early days. It's like time off. What is that? Is it better than work?
Yeah, rest. Y'all, but we do. Remember, we've talked about burnout. We've got to build in our rest time. And we have officially hired the 15-year-old to assist with shipping. So my Saturday morning shows, we're starting small. Don't worry, y'all buying breakables from me. Don't get nervous. We're starting small with easy stuff, but we have officially hired her after this weekend. I've known for a while that I'm at that stage that I need to hire help. I've known this for a while. I have a very strong opposition to somebody I don't know coming in my home. I welcome guests, but I don't want somebody coming on a regular basis to work. This is my home. It's my private area. I'm just kind of I don't want somebody else working in my home. So that's been kind of the struggle. Okay, well, how do I get help? This weekend, I did a show Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Now, part of this is because I moved my show time to 8 a.m. that it's kind of all working together. Moved it to 8 a.m. By Saturday night, I had all but 5 things, bubble wrapped, all perfect, ready to go into boxes, all separated by, here's one person's order, here's another person's order. By Sunday, midday, I had everything boxed up, ready to go to the post office. This is a first for me in forever. Usually it's still unpacking by Tuesday. So the feeling I had Monday morning when I woke up and I had 0 shipping hanging over my head was so freeing. I have noticed just from Monday through today, actually Sunday afternoon through today, blocks of time that I would have otherwise spent shipping. Because instead of going and doing a bunch of stuff on Saturday, I really focused on the shipping. I love that feeling so much of freeing up my time. I went to Noelle, I'm like, we have to get shipping help. Like, this is it. Like, the feeling was so good. It is worth paying for that. It felt amazing just to wake up and not think, oh my God, I still have 10 orders I need to pack before tomorrow. And it's not just 10 little things. Monday, Wednesday shows when I sell little stuff like this, that's easy packing. We're talking breakables, right? So we decided, my 15-year-old's been asking for a job. She wants to get a summer job. She's been asking to make more money. She already manages a piece of our Etsy business, and she does very well with it. She's very responsible, so she's proven herself to be very trustworthy and on top of it, good customer service, listen to direction, all of that stuff. So we are going to start small and start teaching her how to ship. And the idea is, while I'm selling, I have 2 shelves on either side of me. If it goes this direction, I'm super excited about this. If it goes this way, it's an item that I feel is too fragile to give to her right away. If it goes that way, she is to grab the item, get it all bubble wrapped and wrapped up good, put our label on it, and start to make piles for all the customers at, all their boxes. And hopefully by the end of the show, most stuff will be wrapped. And then all I got to do is put in boxes. So this is the goal that we're working towards. It's going to take a little while.
Ronson, have you tried the CSV method? Have you looked into that so you can upload a little bit faster?
Build whatnot. Pre-listed, they do. Rawson. Okay, let's talk about CSV really quick. Trying $start random pulls on Monday. That is amazing. This brings up 2 things, Ross, and I'm glad you brought this. Someone young taking an interest. Okay, she's more interested in the money, big chunk, but I'll take it.
Vintage Reawakened. But my question would be, what do you pack? Because I'm not sure there's a big difference between packing jewelry than there is packing a big old breakable item. It takes a little bit more time.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, because my thing is, when we were selling jewelry, I loved the jewelry. 1 hour after the show, I was done. Vintage decor takes I spend about 2 hours, maybe 3 sometimes for every hour I'm live packing. So I'm really hoping to cut that down I'm still going to have to do a bit, and it's going to be a process. But, okay, so Rawson mentioned 2 things. Pre-listed versus random. Another controversial whatnot topic there. Yes, shipping jewelry is so much easier. So much easier. I envy all of you jewelry sellers. So pre-listed versus random. And then if you're doing pre-listed, the most efficient, effective way to do that. So I'll give you my take for the most efficient way if you're pre-listing, because I have gone back to doing mainly pre-listing shows. So if you've never done a CSV file, put an emoji if you use CSV file as a seller.
I think it would be better put an emoji if you know what a CSV file is.
If you know what it is. All right. We didn't start selling because we like it. Yeah, just because it's easier. All right, so most of you know what the CSV file is. You go to Whatnot, you can download their template. Their template is nothing but, it's an Excel sheet basically. It's just, it doesn't have the Excel extension to CSV. Some features aren't compatible. Anyways, it's basically an Excel sheet, and along the top row, each column it has a column label that corresponds to the fields that are in your inventory listing. All you do is fill it out. But listen, here's the gorgeous part about this. Most of the columns are the same. If you're selling a vintage decor, you don't need to type vintage decor every single time. You just copy and paste. There's like 4 columns that I fill out when I do a CSV. The title, the description, the price, depending on this show, because I do bin prices. Most of the time it's auction for $1, and the weight. Those are the only thing, or sometimes you gotta do buy it now or auction, but you can copy paste. Most of that is so easy. You do this, this is my process for pre-listing. Anything, a lot of breakables, crocs. Oh, so you are bubble wrapping. Yeah, a lot of stuff. This is my process for pre-listing. I get everything together in one spot. After the cleaning and all of that, price tags removed, all that good stuff. Get it together in one spot, set it up. I take pictures with the camera, run through, take all my pictures. That usually takes about 30 to 40 minutes. And then I take my computer right next to it. I do my measurements. I look at the item. I'm like, type in the title, description. And for me, description is mainly measurements and if there's any call outs on the item. I don't have to write a big old thing. I'm live selling. I don't need to tell you the whole history of the item in the description. I just need to give you the pertinent facts. And then after that, it goes on the shelves to sell. It is that whole process right there takes maybe an hour and 15 minutes if it's a lot of stuff. And I'm talking about 80 to 100 items I can do in an hour. That's how easy that CSV file makes it. The longest part, the most difficult time-consuming part is taking pictures. Taking pictures takes longer than loading it into Whatnot does. So does anybody else do a system that's similar to that, or do you have a different way? Do you guys have an efficient way? And which I love this because systems is the whole topic this week that we're doing with our CEO challenge. So to get the pictures to attach, so that probably takes about another 15 minutes at night. When I go to bed at night, I usually sit there with my computer. I do a lot of computer work before I go to sleep. So I will sit there with my computer that has all the pictures on it. I open up Whatnot because when you upload the file, everything goes into your drafts. I just go open up the first item, attach a picture, hit save. Go to the next one, attach a picture, hit save. If by chance I need to make a change in the listing somewhere, I can do it at that time, but usually it's pretty rare. If I'm making changes, it's because I want to drop the weight down. It's like, because I normally do 8 to 11 ounces, so if I see something that's less, I'll change it there. Can you get to drafts from a phone? Yes, you can. That's the other option. I use a computer, but you can also do it on your phone. Because I've done that on the fly too. I've done just take some pictures on my phone really quick if I don't feel like bringing my computer downstairs, turning the camera on, the whole bit. I've taken pictures on my phone really quick and then upload it on the computer, but you can also upload on your phone. Half for real, just upload inventory. Yeah, just upload, just upload, just like that. So where it is, I don't know where to find the file. If you go to help.whatnot.com, here, we'll show you.
I'll put it here in a minute. Give me one moment. Let me just open it up.
So once you do this file, he'll show you where to get the file. If you're on your computer and you go to the inventory, I'm not sure.
All right, I'm going to show you. You're going to go to...
Let's see if we can pull it up on the screen.
Here it goes. You're going to go to help.whatnot.com. You can see right there, I just typed CSV and it says bulk import products from a CSV file. And then you click on that and it will open the article. And if you scroll a little bit lower where it says template below, US, the very first option, if you click that, you can open it up or you can download it into your computer. We download the template in our computer. We have a subscription to Office, to Microsoft Office, so we open it in Excel. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier. But if not, you can open it in Google Sheets too.
Yep, and just save the template, and I just overwrite it every single time. So every time I'm uploading, I just use the same template, delete what I did before, and start again.
So again, is help.whatnot.com, and then just type in CSV.
And if you're the type of person who learns better by watching somebody do it and following along, go to Crystal's Vintage Collections. Crystal's Vintage Collections. Can you tag her in there and just put for CSV? She actually does trainings. You can go look at her shows. She does trainings on it, like a show like this, that you can go and she'll walk you through step by step visually and show you if you're a learner, if you learn better that way. No, off topic. Any topic is open. Ask away. Because I learned so much regarding... Oh, thank you. You had 4K savings. Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so excited.
Stuff. Here it goes.
That is so great. And it's really not for me. honestly, it's because you took the time to probably pull all your receipts together to have organized records. So because you went prepared, you were able to save money. Because let me tell you, a CPA will ask questions. They're going to ask you, or your tax preparer, they're going to ask you some questions like, did you have a workspace in your at home? Because they're trying to say, can we get you the home office deduction? They're not going to sit there and go through your receipts and say, are you sure you got everything? Is there anything you're missing? Let's look at your bank statement. They're not going to do that. They're going to take what you gave them at face value and maybe ask a couple of prodding questions for the big deductions to make sure you're not missing some of those. So the more organized you are, proof right there, the more deductions you will get, or it'll be better for you. You're not going to leave money sitting on the table. So, yeah, when I used to do taxes for people, it was like, you give it to me, that's your job to make sure you bring me everything. I'm not going to sit there and ask, did you look at every single bank statement? Did you do this? And it wasn't even for Whatnot. See, even better. That is awesome. And for those of you who haven't filed, I'm sure you've heard there's some new deductions this year. If those of you who did the extension for your esthetician business, awesome. What we talk about here on Whatnot, it's business and, like, for me anyways, business, tax, and accounting. I will relate it to Whatnot. I will take those topics and say, this is what it looks like on Whatnot, but they're accounting concepts used, they're just basic accounting concepts used across the world. The business concepts that I'm going to talk about are business theory or business principles or practices that have been in existence for hundreds of years. It's not brand new information because of Whatnot. It doesn't change. A business is a business. We just take what we do in brick and mortar and we say, okay, well, if it looks this way in brick and mortar store, what does it look like here on Whatnot? The concepts are the same. They absolutely do need a foundation, 100%. There was something else. We were talking about pre-listing or random, because then we started talking about pre-listing. I use Quicken. What do you suggest for the categories? I sell jewelry. So what I would suggest right off the bat for people who are like, okay, I don't have any accounts or categories set up, take a Schedule C. You can go to irs.gov, www.irs.gov. You Google Schedule C, bring that up. They already have categories on there. I would start with that. Then start there and start thinking, okay, well, it says revenue. That's great that you're going to record all your revenue. That's a main category. It's a main account, right? But if you sell different types of jewelry, what information do you want? Ultimately, these books serve two purposes: for your information to make decisions as a business owner and for taxes. So what information do you want? For revenue, for instance, do you want to know if earrings make more than necklaces? Different types of jewelry, I say it, thank you, vintage versus modern. So now you're like, okay, instead of just revenue, I'm going to have modern jewelry and vintage jewelry. So now I can start to make decisions because I have my numbers segregated by which categories are performing better, which ones cost me more to maintain, stuff like that. So get your main categories, look at a Schedule C to start with, and then start making like subcategories based on how you want to use the information. And don't overdo it though. The more categories you have, the harder it is to keep up. So keep it as simple as you can that still meets your needs. Cost of goods are tax deductible for vintage items, right? Some of the places don't give me a receipt, but I still keep track. Yes, so the serial hobbyist, what you're talking about, cost of goods, absolutely. Anything you sell is tax deductible. But cost of good inventory, when you buy it, it's inventory. Can you do local? Tia, are you local? I mean, hold on, wait a second. Can I do local pickup for PDFs? You can. I still have to send you a sticker, but that's fine. Yes, you can. Yeah, that's fine. I think if I have it turned on, I don't know because I don't always turn it on. So, but yeah, I'm okay with that. You can look and see. I can't look when I have a show going if I have it turned on.
She has a show that she does free shipping, so you can also purchase them there.
Friday morning show is free shipping. So, and I have all the PDFs on Friday morning show, and I will have them on flash sale on Friday morning also. And then it doesn't matter if it's local or not. You'll save on that.
Let me check and see if there's any chance that we can do that if it's turned on. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
We got it? Perfect. Thank you
That's
so
what
much.
Southern Charm says.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I didn't know if I turned it on or not. Okay. So cost of goods. So let me get back to this. When you buy something to sell, it's inventory. It's not an expense when you buy it. It's just inventory. It's an asset. Then when you sell it, that's your expense. That's your cost of goods. So it's inventory when you buy it. When you sell it, it turns into cost of goods, which is the expense side. And yes, you're correct. 100% tax deductible. Let's see. My husband and I have separate accounts. He gives me an allowance. How would I account for that in Quicken? So I'm guessing, Linda, that like your husband's like, here's money to invest into your business, basically, for you to buy stuff with until your business gets self-sufficient. That's just, you put cash in. You consider that equity. So when you put your money in, it's just equity. It's not revenue. So you debit your bank account, you credit your equity account. I know debits and credits may be overkill in this situation, but in Quicken, you make a deposit and the category you pick is equity. They may classify it as owner investment, maybe another term that you might see it called. I see the pre-bids, we'll get to them.
Tia, if you do the local pickup, just do me a favor, send us the QR code. That way, because otherwise it's gonna automatically switch to ship after a certain amount of days. So if we don't have that, we're not gonna be able to mark it as picked.
Yeah. Who is for shipping, Living Bliss Vintage, she's doing it less frequently because I think she got it like an outside job that she goes to. So I'm seeing the shows less frequently, but Living Bliss Vintage is kind of like the shipping person, the go-to shipping. Also D-Archivist.
And Blasian Bunny too.
Blasian Bunny. Those are three that are really good on shipping. However, 0 to 3 ounces being $4.99 is probably appropriate depending on where they live. If you're on one side of the country and they're on the other, that's very appropriate because even 0 to 3 ounces, if it's not a sticker, if it's not a PWE item and set up as a PWE, it's going to be for something. That like the lowest you're going to go is for something. Correct me if I am wrong on that, you guys, but I haven't seen it lower than for something. I am not also a shipping expert. I know how I do shipping, and I don't do fancy shipping. I let Whatnot do a lot of the calculations. So when it's inventory too, tax deductible, it doesn't sell within the year. No, the Serial Hobbyist, it's not deductible if you don't sell it. It's just an asset. It's just something you own, just like the cash in your bank. It's just something you own. Now, when it comes to taxes, you have a choice to make it tax deductible. You can do cash or accrual. There's 2 different ways. Once you pick one, though, you got to stick with it because changing, there's a process in having to change it. So if you pick cash, yes, you can deduct all of it. That can come back and bite you in the butt. There's very specific times that you should and shouldn't pick that cash option. 9 times out of 10, the accrual is true to form and a better option. This is why I always say your first year in business is well worth meeting with a tax professional of some sort just to get you up and going.
Have a good day, Jennifer.
Thank you for being here. And then you could start to do it on your own after that. Correct? Okay, thank you. I thought I was okay with that. Visuals used to be a manager of the post office and her shows are very good. Oh, okay. That's great. So there's another person you can go to for shipping. And I know she has a lot of chat shows. I see her thumbnails quite frequently. Your first show is May 3rd and House of Coot. Okay, listen. Do not, if you are a new seller, do not worry about the big sellers. Here's why. How many times have you gone into a big seller show? Nothing against big sellers. We all have our goals and aspirations, right? But I don't know about you. When I see a show that has 300 people or 200 people, sometimes even 150 or so, I'm intrigued. I want to see it. Yeah, does activity breed activity? It 100% does. I'm intrigued. But how often do you feel that you really get a good deal or a chance at getting a good deal? A lot of these bigger sellers, me included, I don't consider myself big, but we do dollar starts, okay? We all know that sometimes the value of an item is attached to the person selling it. You're not just buying the item, you're buying it because you bought it from House of Coop, or you bought it from the Hodgepodge place, or you bought it from Upcycled by Bree. And that is not bad. These are all amazing sellers. I have watched their shows. I'm intrigued by their businesses, how they grow and what they do. I think we can learn a lot. But the reality is when the rooms get too big, there could be the negative effect that buyers feel that things get bid up too high and they get outbid very quickly. Doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time. So, I see you, my love.
She did not understand the question, but thank you.
I did understand the question. I'm explaining it in a lot of detail. So, what happens in those instances is that the buyers go to look for other people's shows, for smaller shows. It doesn't mean that anybody's better than anybody else, good or bad. I'm not saying good or bad. Like, don't get me wrong. What happens is that then if you feel like you're in a show and you're not being able to bid or get something, you're going to go look for another show. Do not worry if there is a big seller on at the same time you're on. You're there to do your business. And there are a lot of people that like smaller shows. Just do you. It's okay if you're going up against another big business. It can actually work to your advantage sometimes.
As you can see, there's a lot of people that think supporting the small business is a lot more advantageous.
Yes.
And not only that, to keep up with the chat with so many people in the room is kind of difficult. But yes, the time that is posted is their time, not your time.
Exactly. And the time that you see on your phone is always in
it's in your time.
Your time zone.
Yes, it's on your time zone.
Do not, y'all, please. There's 41 people in here. Do not get me wrong. I am not against any of these sellers. They are all people that I watch. I've purchased from these people before. I'm not saying anything in a bad way whatsoever. I'm talking about buyers' points of view and room size. I don't want to get that big, too much packing. It could be a lot of packing. I think there's a sweet spot. Farm LLC, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Farm LLC. She sells jewelry. She's a really great jewelry seller on here. She said it really good at one point. She has found her sweet spot. And at the time when she said it's around 30 or 40 people. I don't know if it's changed since she's mentioned this months and months ago. Because she feels that she's interacting really great with the chat. She's making the good sales. Like, she's found a sweet spot. We all have a sweet spot. For some people, it may be 300. For others, maybe 10, 50. So room size, those numbers aren't always important. It's what's working for you.
Absolutely, Rosan. And yes, my Monster Mama, totally.
I love to go to new sellers. I can get some things at the yeah, exactly.
And yes, Big Chunk, it still amazes me to go to the car breaks. It's a total different environment.
I've never been to the card breaks that often. I'm going to go ahead and over to pre-bids because we got quite a few. We'll get back to talking. I've got another controversial thing we can talk about. Just in case I haven't rubbed enough people wrong today, right? My husband's over there. Sometimes I get on topics and he's over there like, shut your mouth, girl. Like, he's giving me the look because he's like, you're going to open your mouth and get yourself in trouble. But I'm not talking bad about anybody. We're just talking. What's going on? Okay, let's do.
Don't encourage her, Patty.
Thank you, Patty. I'm not talking bad about people. If I say so, I never call out somebody's name in a negative way. If I actually say a seller's name, it's because I respect that seller. So, all right, let's do this. Let's start with the Hummel plate. We're going to run through these pre-bids, and then we'll get back to talking on a next controversial item. I try to keep it real. Let's look at this Hummel. This one's really pretty. 1978. I'm not going to ask you, whoa, goodness gracious. I'm not going to ask you if you were born in 78, but some of us actually lived through this year. We remember 78. We're going to go this way. So we have a Hummel. Let me see. I'm not seeing any chips or cracks. It's beautiful. We're going to show it from the top. Let's see if there we go. All right, we can see it. It has the little Hummel mark there. I'll flip it over so you can see the back side. Looks to be in really great shape. It has the 2 little holes up there. You can put a string and hang it. We're doing dollar starts, 10 seconds with a 3-second restart, and it's going right now. You sold a 78. Aw. Passionate Tracy Aaron. I haven't got too worked up yet this morning. The Dentons, thank you so much. That is going to you. I appreciate that. Okay, honey, we're going to have to do something about that printer over there. I cannot reach it.
Yes, you can.
Okay. What is next? Let's see. Oh, the cookie mold. I'm about falling off my chair over here, you guys. This is like embarrassing. All right, we have a cookie mold. I'm pretty sure it's brand new. You're a 74 model. I am very close to that. You guys, I have this thing. My husband gets on me all the time. I don't want to be old. Like, I just don't want to be old. Like, my age, like, I have this whole hang up on talking about how old I am. Like, I just want to stay 30. Like, I really don't want to be old. I just don't. I don't know why.
Good morning, Brittany.
I am very close to that 75 model, though. Very close. All right, I'm opening this up just to show you. This is a Pampered Chef, brand new, in the box. So like a new old stock, it's an older item, has its little paperwork and everything. We're going to go ahead and run it.
Oh, it looks like it has a recipe for sugar cookies. Galletas de azúcar.
What was that? Say that again.
Galletas de azúcar.
Oof. I'll tell you all, that's why I married that man right there. He starts talking like that. TMI this morning, TMI. Bama Thrifting Sisters, that's going to you. Thank you so much. And, oh, these are so cute, you guys. You were good with age until 60. Yeah, I'm heading that way very, very quickly, and I just don't like it. I just want to be young. I just want to be young, that's all. All right, let's go to the other camera. I know old is relative, because in my head, I don't feel the same age as like my body's, you know, like my actual age. In my head, I swear I still sometimes think like I'm 15 again, right? I think, but this is a problem because I think I could do far more than what I should be doing. Okay, let's take a look at these. We have salt and pepper shakers. I think it looks like a turkey, but when I took a picture of it, Google told me that this was a seashell. So you have your little, which I can see the seashells here, salt and pepper. There is tarnish on the little metal tops. I did not try to take them off. No chips or cracks that I was able to find on this. But I think it kind of looks like a turkey and not seashells. But there we go. Where was I? I was in a Goodwill yesterday. Okay, this is up and running right now. And they have their senior discount at 55. And I looked at my husband and I'm like, I am extremely close to qualifying for a senior discount. And it just, I want a discount, but I don't want the senior part. Just take that off of it. Southern Charm, congratulations. That is heading your way.
Thank you.
I know, Rawson, that's it right there. It's weird being the same age as old people. All right, these are adorable. These are definitely vintage. You can tell just by looking at them. They probably they're a little dusty. Can we switch cameras, please? Cameraman. I don't know what he's doing. All right, there we go. Look at them. They have a lot of texture to them. They are so cute. They both still have their little cork stoppers in there. Some paint wear, but they're not chippy. They're both in really great shape. There's their back sides.
Hey, Tabitha, just
we're going to run them.
make use of it.
And that's going right now. Yeah, embrace the discount. I know, but I just don't want. I want the discount. Ranchan Finds, congratulations. These little guys are adorable. These little salt and peppers. We always do too. At the end of the show, we'll do a piece of jewelry. So we're doing one piece of jewelry every show. All right, this Fenton I put in there glows. I did not realize that this glows until last night. So check this out. All right, so we have a Fenton bell here. First of all, it is just very beautiful. I love the design of the glass on this. Can you switch cameras, please?
Sorry for the echo. 1 second.
All right, so we have a Fenton bell here, cobalt blue, so pretty. I love this little thing going on here. Has its clapper, still in good shape, and it glows. How freaking cool is that? We're gonna go ahead and run it.
365. The serial hub is 365.
That is running right now. I had no clue till last night. If I did, I probably would have put it in my glowy show, but it's for this one.
Good morning, Burlapan.
This serial hobbyist, congratulations. And, oh, this little trinket box, I received you
Thank
two big
you.
boxes yesterday. Oh, Mama, I'm so happy. Yes, you don't. When I ship something, I try to be generous with the bubble wrap because I do want the items to get there in one piece. At least I try to do my part on it. I can't control what USPS does, but I try to do my part. All right, so we have this pill box. I do not know the type of metal. Now let me hold it up because I'm going to open it and show the inside. I don't know the type of metal, but it has a good weight for the size. So you can see the size of it. It's about just a little bit shorter than my hand. This is a scene, a George Washington scene, and I know that because the inside has this little emblem, and it says Washington headquarters at the top, and then Newburgh, New York on the bottom. You can see it has some wear and tarnish on the bottom. Okay, here, let's zoom in and show it. I think this is the coolest part of it. It is really cool looking, isn't it? There you go. You can see it says Washington's headquarters, Newburgh. It looks like his cabin there. And then this side is actually probably just a picture of their home life. So this is what the bottom looks like. I have no idea the type of metal. There is some weight to it though. And that's running right now. See if I can get it the right way. There we go. It's very interesting. Bama Thrifting Sisters, thank you so much. All right, we've got about 3 more items and then we'll get back
Thank
to
you.
some controversial topics. This one's pretty. This is a drip glaze. What is it? What would you guys call this? I listed this as a vase. For the life of me, I could not think of the proper name. If you know, please tell me. Tell me what the proper name of this is. It's not vase. A vase is not the proper name. But I don't remember. I figured, I'm like, I'll just have to ask. Somebody will know. Anyways, it is very pretty. A ewer. Thank you, Kate. You got it. That's exactly. It was. I knew there was another name. I just, for the life of me, couldn't think about it. Really great shape. It is a little rough here, but it's not chipped. I just think that's how it was made because I don't see any evidence of chipping or anything in there. I can just feel a little roughness with my finger. USA on the bottom. I would say that's probably about 7 or 8 inches tall. And that's running right now. I knew what you were saying. When you typed, I knew what, once I saw those letters together, it made sense. And mamas, thank you so much. And then we have our locks and keys. You can give somebody the key to your heart here. These are so tiny.
Thank
I'm gonna have to
you.
hold them up. So, oh, you're gonna do it that way? All right, so we have 2. They're gold colored locks. I'm sure they are not real gold. They're just gold colored, but they're 2 little locks. I don't see who makes them. I don't see a name, but they come with the keys and they're just tiny little things. And they're running right now. Like for comparison size, there's my finger, so that they're tiny. I thought they were cute. They would look good in like a little vignette of some sort. Ranch Hand Finds, congratulations. Those are heading to you. And the creamer. You guys, we are doing,
Thank you.
I am doing another creamer show. I've been collecting creamers. I have probably 12 now. So when I get to about 40, 45, I'm gonna run it because it's not regular creamers. So this is what I would call a regular creamer in the sense that it has like a normal shape. It looks like what you expect a creamer to look like. My creamer show is going to be all the unique ones, the animals, the odd shapes, the funky, That's the creamer show that's going to come as soon as I hit about 40, 45, so maybe another month. In the meantime, I'll continue to sell these type. So this is a really pretty glass one. It is blown glass. We do have this pontil down there that's somewhat rough. And an applied handle. Whimsy, yes. And the color is gorgeous. This is like a cranberry color here. And it's running right now. Can you go grab me a couple of those just so I can show a couple of the funky ones? Vintage Wakened, thank you so, Vintage Rewakened, thank you so much. That is heading to you. All right, let's keep talking some controversial stuff. Turns white wine into red wine. There you go. It does, Papa Joe's. And before we close the show out in a while, about another 20 or 30 minutes, we'll run at some jewelry, or a piece of jewelry. Talking about your creamer show. You're gonna spoil, don't talk about. I'm trying to get my husband to go grab a couple of the unique ones, but he doesn't like them. So he's like, no, I'm not gonna go grab them for you. Because he's like, every time I bring a new funky creamer in the house, he's just like, what are you doing? Every single time. He's over there shaking his head at me. I love him still though, you know. It is. And you know, have you guys, when you go to antique malls or the flea markets or whatever, have you noticed that the funky ones are a lot pricier? I have seen a few that I've gone to pick up. I saw a cat one the other day, but it was like $30 at the antique store. I'm like, I love it. It's totally cool, but a little out of my price range to buy for resale. But it was really cool. But those ones, they're, I'm having a hard time finding ones that are in a resale capacity. Are they highly, I'm glad to hear they're highly desirable. So, all right. Here's a controversial topic I'd love to get your guys' take on. Do we have another giveaway? Did we run them all or we have more? We have more, okay. Do you think big sellers have an unfair advantage?
You think, Miss Daisy? You think? I don't know.
Bama Thrifting, I just picked up 2 moose ones. I have 2 moose, I have cows. I have a different type of cat, not the one cat I saw. I have a duck. I have a tiki so far. All right, so Southern Charm says no. The question is, do you think big sellers have an unfair advantage? And if you say yes, I want to know why. A duck would be cool. I have it's more like a yellow duck. I would love to get a duck one, like a more real-to-life duck. Nope. See, so we're all on the same page. This may not be a controversial one because we're all on the same page. I don't think they have an unfair advantage. Exactly. They've earned it. Every big seller, and we forget that when we come on Whatnot, they earn the volume of viewers and items sold. They did. Every person that we look at, that we like look up to, or when we first start Whatnot, we're like, wow, if I can get to that point, right? They started in the exact same place we did. We all have the same tools, the same platform. There's nothing more that they have that we don't have. So we all have the same possibilities of achieving the exact same thing. Depends on how they got big. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking if they got big by scamming, and I'm not saying there's big people out here but that got big by it, but if they did, the only way a scammer gets big by scamming is because people supported them. So for me, I think that's a buyer problem, not a seller problem. Should they be scammers? No. But if we continue to support scammers, then we're just as bad as the scammers. That's my point of view. That could totally not be yours, and that's okay if it's not. But that's how I look at it. And I think we kind of we all make that decision, right? We all go into shows and we evaluate whether we want to buy in that show or not. So. How about on the opposite end? Should the platform do anything different for small sellers? Does Whatnot allow them certain perks? I noticed most of the bigger ones after discounted offer. Hilly, this is amazing. Let's talk about this. Growth should be organic. Chatty Wampus, yes, I'm going to re-ask that question again. I want to talk about Hilly's comment because I think that's an amazing comment. They actually do not get any other perks besides ones that may come from being a premier shop. Now, premier is the wings. When you see little gold wings, they're premier. They've earned that. They have to meet certain metrics on a rolling 90-day basis. So Whatnot evaluates every single seller at the end of every month, and they look back at the last 3 months or the last 90 days. If you've met certain metrics, you automatically get the wings. It's not something you apply for. It's just automatic by meeting metrics. I don't remember. I know 50,000 in sales over 90 days is one qualifier metric. Quality listings, probably like your rating. There's probably a couple other things. I don't know all of the metrics off the top of my head. So that's what that's the premier sellers. But any other big sellers, you don't have to be big to offer free or reduced shipping. I'm not going to go into like super, super big depths about this because people have heard me go on and on. Thank you, Forgotten Memories. 80% quality listings, 4.8 in ratings, good account health, plus the 50,000 in sales. You can offer free or reduced at any size. It's based on how much you can absorb in the cost. So if your sourcing is better, if you're on point with your cost of goods, you have all of your other expenses under control, you can offer free or reduced shipping. It's not just for them. And Whatnot, for those of us who offer free and reduced, we get nothing from Whatnot. It is us that are covering all the rest of that. Oh, Grammy, that's my view right there. It can happen so quickly that they lose. Oh no, hold on, we're different here. It can happen so quickly that they lose who they are and not get caught up in the hype. I have seen it, it's not good. There are sellers that as soon as they get their wings, it goes to their head. No different than the minute somebody, becomes a celebrity, it goes to their head. My thing with the wings, not against it, the real perk you get with the wings, there's two of them. You get a very tiny little cut on your commission that you pay Whatnot, not enough to really be like super noticeable, but hey, a savings is a savings. And you do get a little bit better customer support. Like you have a little more direct access. It's not just a bot. Thank you so much. I stole it from my husband.
Yes, she stole it from me.
But think about the wings. Vintage Reawakened, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. Thank you for your purchase from the bin also. We're running another giveaway. They are for the CEO affirmation cards. Oh, you're back. Well, welcome back. The wings. It's not something I'm going for. I don't think they're bad. If you got wings, wonderful for you. Congratulations. You worked your butt off. You got wings. That's great. I personally, it's not a goal of mine for a couple of reasons. One, I don't do this full time. I do this part time, and meeting those metrics would be more like 100-hour weeks. And I don't want to do that. It means I have to increase the number of shows. I already do a lot of shows. I enjoy my talk shows and I don't want to do just all selling shows that it would take to get there. That's one. And in addition to the selling shows, it's the time to source. And right now that's not where I'm at as a business. So that's one reason. The other reason is, and this is the big one for me, it's very difficult to get your wings. You're busting your butt to get them. You can lose them easier than you get them. One bad month, one bad week, you can lose your wings. I don't like that perception. I don't like, how many of you have seen sellers who you follow and they have their wings and all of a sudden the next month you're like, oh, they lost their wings. What happened, right? Maybe nothing happened. Maybe they were sick for a week and they didn't make the sales and they sold $499,000 and just missed the 50,000 mark by $10. Who knows? It doesn't have to be something bad, but the perception is, oh, what happened? So that's more of my deterrent. I'd rather just be even, consistent. Zoe's Treasures who I am and not worry about the wings, because once you get on that rat race, you got to keep it up.
Tabitha, this is how I feel about that shirt.
What is he going to do? Whatever you're doing, I'm not seeing. I know you discussed low starts and reduced shipping in one of your other shows this week. If you had to choose, which one is best? Hilly, I think both combined. That's my opinion. Both combined is the best. I'm a firm believer in dollar starts. That doesn't mean that I think everybody should do dollar starts. You need to do what's best for your business. It works for me. And I am also a huge believer in discounted shipping. And this is why on both of those points. And when you combine it together, the power increases. The power of each individually increases when you combine them together. For reduced shipping or free shipping, I'm just going to go with reduced because that's what most people do. Vintage, I'm going to answer that question really quick. Or I'll answer that question in just 1 second. If you have two sellers, you see two sellers on your screen, they're both pretty equal. Entertaining, selling the same products, as equal as two sellers can be, and one has reduced shipping and the other doesn't, it's almost a no-brainer who you're going to click on. Okay? It doesn't mean that the other one will never get sales. I'm just saying buyer behavior. Put yourself in the buyer's shoes. Think about what you would do, okay? Consider if the two were fairly equal in all regards, okay? The second part is the lower the start, the lower the barrier to buying is. So the more you can source at a good price and control your cost of goods and absorb some risk, the more tempting your item is to somebody. I do dollar starts $4.50 shipping, and on my shows, it's very rare. I have close to 100% sell-through rate because there's almost no risk to a buyer at that point. So the more you can reduce that barrier to buying, the better it is for your buyer. Now, I wouldn't recommend either one of those until you've got a little bit of a base. You can look back and understand where your numbers are and make a smart decision about it. Someone said, Vintage Reawakened, someone said they got 2 boxes from you. Do you edit box size when you ship or just put it all in whatever size box and put it? Oh no, we always edit box size, weight, and box size, always. It is required by Whatnot and it is required by USPS. I know there are larger sellers will tell you, oh, you don't have to worry about that. I never get caught. No, it's okay. No, it's wrong. Our terms of service that we agree to as a seller, if you can go to help.whatnot.com and read about shipping, it explicitly tells you in our terms of service, in the help menu, to change your box sizes. So I always change my box size and weight. Goes back to new seller. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Papa, thank you so much. That's sweet. Next to your name, if you do something, not until you have a bad month. Tober, I agree. Like if you get the wings, it should be like something that you get. Like, hey, I earned this. Maybe they have different levels, different color of wings. I don't know. It's just not super appealing to me. Would I like that small little discount they give? Yes, because every bit helps, right? Mrs. Big Chunk, you got that giveaway. Congratulations. But, Aaron, you crack me up. But I don't want to lose it. Like I don't know. Only for when it's more, right? Yes, so your 5 free adjustments, you get 5 free a week. This is the reason you get 5 free. You know when you do shipping, Whatnot has the weight bands, 1 to 3 ounces, 8 to 11 ounces. So if you have something that's 8 ounces and you pick the 8 to 11, the shipping rate is 11 ounces. Like it's not defaulting to the lowest, it defaults to the highest when it's calculating the weight in the Whatnot system.
That's right, Rochelle. And that's the reason why the editing the box size and the weight is so important. So the buyer doesn't get stuck with paying the lack of shipping that the seller did not account for.
Correct. So Whatnot actually, it charges at the higher of those rates. And they know they do that. It's a simple system. They actually have a really good shipping system. But in kind of like a trade-off for that is because we don't have, it's not like Etsy where all the shipping money goes into like your bin and you pull out, the shipping, or an eBay type system. It's not like that. You get 5 free adjustments to kind of compensate because they're charging to the highest band rate. Are they getting rich off of shipping? No, they're not. Trust me, Whatnot is probably losing money on shipping. So you get 5 free adjustments. Use them. It is okay to use your adjustments. I know people out there give advice saying, never use them, it's bad. No, use them. It's okay. But yes, anytime you make an adjustment in box size or weight up to a certain amount, they cover only to a certain amount, that's an adjustment. That you can use one of your 5. Certain ones, the change of weight or the size is too great and you as a seller have to pay for it. No, does the alarm one say affect you if you're making the box size smaller? No. So 12 by 12 by 12 is the standard. When you go to ship, you will see Whatnot automatically says 12 by 12 by 12. That's the standard. That's how their rates are calculated on that size of a box. Anything greater than that. So if any one of those numbers is a bigger number, you need to change the dimensions and the weight. You need to change the weight all the time, but the dimensions, if any one of those is greater than 12, you need to change it. If it's smaller, you are not required to, because you are already paying for something bigger, right? However, the thinking behind this, and this is the decision you make as a seller on whether you want to do this or not. The thinking behind it, if that box goes missing and you left it at 12 by 12 by 12, but really it was a 6 by 6 by 6, and the box goes missing, the post office is going to go and look for a 12 by 12. They're looking for a box that's this size, when really your box is this size. So if it goes missing, it helps identify, locate, track the box easier. My thinking, I do not change box size going down unless it becomes a requirement, which right now it's not. If it becomes a requirement, I will do it. I don't go down because I think I've only had maybe 1 or 2 boxes ever lost in transit in the 2.5 years I've been on here. And of all the shipments I've done, the thousands of shipments, to have 1 or 2 boxes, it's not worth the time it takes for me to make it smaller.
Mrs. Big Chunk, you should probably contact Whatnot. Take a screenshot and send it to them. You can do it via email or within the app.
And correct, going smaller does not affect your adjustments at all.
Good morning, sister. This is a vintage chick.
Good morning. You know when you say, Monster Mama, the thought of packing $50K worth of sales makes your chest hurt. But if you break that down on a weekly basis, so what? If you have 13 weeks, let me do the math here. Gotta do the math. Let's see what that actually comes to, because it's not like outrageous actually. So 50,000 divided by 13 weeks, which is a standard kind of a 90-day period, that's $3,800 a week in sales.
And Mrs. Big Chunk, Whatnot is rolling out, if I'm not mistaken, is rolling out the customer service for all the sellers pretty soon. And you're supposed to reply within 48 hours. Sassy, if I'm incorrect, can you please correct me there? And so if that happens and you contact the seller and the seller doesn't reply timely, that counts severely against them. So, yep. All right. So there you go. But right now, before the rollout is for everybody, just go ahead and contact Whatnot with your situation.
Yeah. So really the 50K, again, this goes back to, I think I talked about this last Friday, is revenue goals. When you start making revenue goals, so if Premier is your goal, which cool, if that's your goal. So 50K, you need 50K in 3 months, right? In 90 days. So I just broke it down. That's $3,800 a week in sales. $3,800 a week in sales, if you do 3 shows a week, is about $1,300 per show. $1,300 a show sounds far more doable than $50,000. So when we start looking at our revenue goals, break it all the way down to what do you need per show, and then you can start thinking through that. Is that doable for me? How much do I make in a show now? How much inventory would I have to sell based on the items I'm selling and the prices I'm getting? So you can really start breaking it all the way down when you're planning out like this to see if that's an actual doable goal or not. And if it's not, then you say, okay, 50 not right now, but let's go for 30.
Maybe one of these days we should co-host the Sassy.
We should. We should set up a co-host. We're going to reach out to you. It's been forever since we've done a co-host. We don't do co-hosting the same as most on Whatnot. We don't use the Whatnot features. We do it different. But it brings us up side by side, which I like. So.
Thank you, Ferdinand.
Weird question. I thought Whatnot took our 5 adjustments automatically. Where did I go? I'm here. I'm in the dark.
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Can you bring me back? Uh-oh.
It's there. I don't know what happened. Hold
Okay.
on. Give me 1 second.
We're coming
guys.
back. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, you can. You still.
Vernon Forrest, thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. You can hear me. So I'll keep talking while he figures
Give
out
me
how to
1
bring me
second.
back. We're just in the dark. Light a candle, somebody. Quick. Get the flashlight. All right. Ladybug said, I thought Whatnot took our 5 adjustments automatically. How do I change it to be able to choose? You cannot. Whatnot, it will just apply automatic. So you can't choose. Now,
Give me
what
1
people do, they will pack larger orders first. So those adjustments set sometime Sunday night, Monday morning, sometime in that time frame they reset. And I'm sure if you go to help.whatnot.com, it tells you exactly what time. So what they a lot of what people will do is, okay, well, we got our logo, we're getting there, we're halfway there, is they will pack larger orders first, or orders that they know they have to unbundle. So they will strategically do the bigger ones first to use those adjustments on those ones. Will I be selling more items this morning? Let me tell you. I'm going to sell a piece of jewelry. I have that planned. And is there anything left in the bin? No, we went through everything. So I won't. There's stuff in the shop if you want to look at the shop. But I'm doing two things. I'm going to do a piece of jewelry, sterling silver for $1, and we are going to do a live seller link for $1 this morning. And we're probably going to do that pretty quick here. Let's see, what else? What am I missing? Where were you? I know, I have no idea what he did. He has the power, that's right. I know, if I just say something he doesn't like, he'll just make it go black.
I'll make her disappear.
Yeah. And the adjustments don't get used until you generate the label. Correct. It'll ask you. So if you go in and you change your box size, you change your weight, and you hit save, it'll say, it'll either automatically show you that there's an adjustment used, and if there's no adjustment, a little pop-up will say, this will charge you X number of dollars. So it doesn't necessarily, there's no pop-up when your adjustment gets used, it just gets applied automatically, but you can see it on a computer screen at the bottom. But if there's no adjustment and you're going to incur a charge, a little pop-up, and it says, are you okay with that? And you have to say, yeah, I'm okay with this. Well, you love your live seller link? Yay!
Thank you, guys. We're happy that you like it. Wanted to share that with you guys.
What are the parameters doing those adjustments or some package? They are. Reverie and rule. Hold on one second. Can you try to find under adjustments, there's a certain adjustment amount where it will not cover. I don't know it off the top of my head. I want to say it's like 24 inches or something like that. But let's see if we can find you the exact information. You guys, my selfish plug here. Saturday morning, 8 a.m., I am doing a reverse auction. These are some of the items that'll be in the reverse auction. Everything you see up here. So the fairy lamp that you like is going to be in the reverse auction. So all of these items are reverse auction. And then next month, I've already scheduled the show. I'm doing bougie for $1. I'm going to have items very similar. Fairy lamp, some swung vases, some high-end items for $1. And the bougie for $1. So go and bookmark that show if you like the fancy glass, not just glass, but I have a big brass vase, stuff like that. So
okay, here we go.
Let's look at what the adjustments are.
Give me 1 second. That way I can give you the full on.
Then great. Oh, yes, there you go, Ranch Hand Finds.
All right, here we go. So this is on help.whatnot.com. You're going to scroll down, and right there at the center says what counts as a shipping adjustment. You click on that.
So changing package weights, bundling multiple purchases into one shipment, unbundling so they ship separately, switching shipping services. We can't switch right now. We're limited unless you're in certain categories. Adding extras like insurance or signature confirmation, and some of those you need to pay for. Keep going. When you can make adjustments before generating. When you're so it's when you're changing the weight, unbundling, changing your box size. Okay, keep going down. I want to see what the limit is. There is a limit in here somewhere. How to make a shipping. Okay, so we know how to do it. We all know how to do this. We adjust our box sizes. Keep going. 5 free a week. You can check how many you have.
And that's it.
Okay, so it's there somewhere. Look at weigh your items before lifting. Choose accurate profiles. Okay. We'll see if we can find it, maybe bring it up in the next show, but it definitely, or you can go to help.whatnot.com. Sometimes you got to dig around a little bit, but they do actually tell you what is not included in a shipping adjustment. Typically, it's when you start to get too big, or if you go, it's like if you go from a 1 ounce item to like an 8 pound item, like if you go up more than so many levels of weight classes, there's some verbiage about that. I just don't know exactly, so I don't want to give you misinformation. Unbundling is pretty much, oh, you know how to unbundle. To bundle, you just click on a computer screen, you click the two boxes you want to bundle together, and there'll be an option to bundle them. Yeah, thank you. Forgotten Memories got it. Thank you. All right, we're getting close to the time. Let's go ahead and run these last two items I have. So to start with, the first thing we're going to run is a live seller link. So I don't know if you guys have seen our live seller links. We normally sell them for $19. We're going to run one for $1. Oh, my husband's going to run the commercial. We got a commercial for you. Stay tuned for a quick commercial break from your sponsors. They're not really sponsors.
Have you seen the new live seller link card? It is amazing. All your social media, your website, your selling platforms in one card. How convenient.
Share your seller profile, social media, and contact info, all with one tap. All right, so that's the live seller link. They basically work as a dot, but we will customize them with your whatever logo you want us to use. You get your choice. So we're going to run it as winner's choice. You can get a black, a white. You can pick a phone tag that looks like this, or the keychain. So your choice, either one. We're going to run it right now for $1. It's going to say random because I don't have a listing for it. And it is running right now. So it is for your choice of whatever live seller link product that you want. And it comes pre-programmed, and then you get all the passwords and everything, and it's totally under your control at that point, once you get it. Thank you so much for your bids. And Fern and Forest Vintage, that is going to you. My husband will reach out to you. So is there anything you need them to do? Or you're just going to reach out to them?
Just keep an eye on DM. I'll send you a DM, and the DM will have some information. And also will be an email following the DM.
All right. Where did you put the backs to these earrings? They're on there. Okay. We have, now this is going to be our last thing we're running. We are slowly liquidating our jewelry. So we're just doing one a show. We're just having some fun with it. So today we have these ones. If you can switch to this camera. We have a set of earrings. They are pierced earrings. They are sterling silver. And we're switching now. There we go. So they are little moon earrings, and they have little sparklies in them. Those are not real stones. Those are synthetic stones, sterling silver. Let me turn it around. It looks like that. I don't do earrings very well. Ignore the nails. I took the fake ones off, and they've killed my fingers. All right, so we have a set of earrings. They look like little moons. They're sparkly. We're going to run it right now for $1. And they're going. I'm going to stick this back in there. There we go. That looks so much prettier. Thank you so much for your bids. And Martha, thank you so much for being here. I'm happy that you found us too. And Grammy G, that is heading your way. Thank you so much. And with that, y'all, I think we are going to go find somebody to raid this morning. I've got to go to my 9 to 5. So I'm going to go do that. We are back on Friday morning. That's my next show. I'm running through my head really quick. Friday morning, 7 a.m. We are talking business and tax, but our business topic is creating shows with momentum. So that's going to be our topic for Friday morning. And I forget what we're talking about on the tax side, but it is a tax topic. But I'm really excited about creating shows with momentum because I think it's something that's really applicable to every single seller. And I think I have some good information. So we will see you then. Thank you all for being here.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a good day. Let's go see. Goodness gracious, I don't know who's on today. A lot of people I don't really know. So you know what? Southern Sweetie Styles, Vintage Decor. I do not know this person. She only has 3 people in a room. Let's just go say hello and throw some ducks in the chat when we get there.